I truly believe that this will go down as one of the best videos about selling stuff online. At Honest View, we've helped launch thousands of products in thousands of niches. With clients over $500,000 a month in revenue, we know what works, and now I'm going to show you. Here are 100 product ideas and unique advice on how to execute each one. Pay close attention because just one of these ideas with proper execution could change your life. A successful private label business means more time with your family, financial security, world travel, the recognition that you're looking for, and maybe quitting that job that you're not so crazy about. But things are changing. The ugly truth is this: Amazon is consolidating. New sellers are crowding the market with all these obvious products. International brands are crushing the little guys. Amazon's making its own versions of bestsellers, and Chinese sellers will compete on equal footing with US merchants in 24 to 36 months. But with the right product, you can prevent losing thousands of dollars on dead-end markets, and you can win big. And now you're about to see not one, but 100 such products handpicked for you right now. You're welcome. All of these markets have the following 3 attributes: high monthly revenues across the board, so not just one seller at the top in most cases; low average review count so that you can dominate the market faster; and non-competitive and non-obvious ideas. I'm not gonna give you the silicone baking gloves or the silicone baking mats or the anything made of silicone. These are special. There may be 100 product ideas here, but we've actually sifted through 1,000 or more to bring these to you. It's like squeezing the juice out of an orange. So let's get into it. Soap making supplies. Here's the wonderful thing about hobbies. Practitioners spend a disproportionate amount of money on items and accessories. In this case, people who love to make their own soap. Head over to Reddit, subreddit soap making, 2,500 soap making enthusiasts. Tell the members you're designing a new soap making kit and ask what you should include in it. It's free feedback from experts who you can then convert to customers later on. To find more niches like this, just take a look at your bank statements and see what you spend a disproportionate amount of money on. It's going to be different for everyone. Industrial aprons. Most people are thinking about private labeling consumer products while their industrial counterparts remain untapped. Regular aprons are saturated. Industrial aprons are not. Consider the leaders in this market: 104K a month and 131 reviews, Amazon fulfilled, and 25K a month and 127 reviews, FBA. Could you get 100 reviews on an industrial apron and take even 10% of their sales? Absolutely, and if you could, that's almost $13,000 a month in revenue. Where do your first customers come from? Just contact a list of university research laboratories or commercial kitchens and you're set. In sourcing, just make sure that the aprons can be folded into a small package and don't weigh too much. If you're doing a small first order, you'll want to ship by air and not by sea. Kids terrariums. Though the depth of the market may be questionable, there's no denying that 2 listings are absolutely killing it. 54 reviews and 26K a month, 230 reviews and 38K a month, and after all, who would say no to an enchanted fairy garden kit? That sounds amazing. This product is very subjective and design based, so you'll need the crowd's opinion before sourcing. Reddit.com, subreddit Terrariums, and to tell them that you have an opportunity to bring a new terrarium to market. Ask what they'd pay top dollar for. Make sure you ask what they'd pay for and not just what they'd like, and compile the results into a cohesive design: size, shape, materials, composition. Then post a matching buying request to Alibaba and enter the market. Geology kit. This niche rocks. I am so sorry. There's great opportunity in educational kits of all kinds. The combination is magical. Education plus kits. Education sells because parents see it as an investment in their kids with a benefit down the road. The more intelligent their child, the higher quality of life they'll have. And kits are great because they let sellers differentiate themselves and charge more money and therefore have higher margins. Plus, geology is a bit more specialized, so the competition's lower. Fraternity flags. Apparently, it pays to go Greek. There's a few $1,000 here. It's admittedly not a huge market, but if you can source out some Sigma Chi flags or other popular houses, optimize your listing, get more than 5, 10, 15 reviews, the money's all yours. Be the big man or woman on campus. And besides, fraternity and sorority products are an interesting niche with very little competition. At this point, this is an example of being able to sweep the market with Honest View's smallest packages. It's a smaller play, but if you don't have a ton of money to get started, I would recommend this one. You can literally start by buying 50 flags, give away 25 for reviews, and sell the other 25 through keyword ranking and pay-per-click, and you'd have enough cash to reorder. Saltwater fish tanks and everything for maintaining them. Saltwater fish tanks are notoriously expensive as a hobby, and to get some nice recurring revenue, you should pick a product in the niche that's consumable, so things that the customer will use and reorder. So fish food, salts, filtration systems, and water testing equipment. Consumable product businesses can scale quickly because of repeat sales, lifetime value per customer. So make a good listing and focus on great customer service and you're golden. In the product packaging, include inserts with Amazon promo codes to further encourage repeat business. Ballroom dancing clothing. I love this because most of your clients will be dance moms, and there's also a niche that's literally devoid of private label activity. Some sellers are doing well. Clothing's pretty subjective, so your sales will really depend on the look of the garment and the number of reviews that you have to build authority. So I'd grab around 50 reviews and you'll be profitable by month 2. Since the category is clothing, you need to get ungated by Amazon to sell there. So in other words, they need to give you permission to sell this stuff. For clothing, that means you need to have at least 4 variations, so Latin ballroom sweat wicking shirts in red, blue, black, and white. Just keep this in mind while you're sourcing and find an MOQ that works for you. Canning sets. Now, I would never give you a kitchen niche in this list normally, but this one is an exception. This particular niche has low review counts and 5-digit revenues across the board, so why couldn't one of them be you? Just take out the guesswork by going to Reddit, the subreddit canning, and these people love preserving food and home in cans. Their motto is, "Yes, we can." And they can tell you exactly what they'd like to see in a new canning kit. Just be honest, open, candid, and you'll get a ton of great feedback. Most kitchen niches have consolidated beyond repair, but don't put the lid on this one just yet. Pregnancy Doppler. This is a baby heart rate monitor. Did you know these existed? I did, because I didn't. It's pretty amazing. It's a device to hear your unborn baby's heartbeat. How poetic is that? So the strategy is sell it with emotion in your listing. It's more than just a health tool. It's a way to connect with your child before it's born. It's quite a specialized piece of technology with 3 sellers making thousands on a monthly basis, 6K, 44, and 106 respectively. Pregnancy leggings. Also in the domain of baby bumps, as we were just talking about. They're for future moms to tuck lovingly over their growing bellies, keeping themselves warm and stabilizing the area. This is a perfect niche for Pinterest and Instagram marketing. It's fashion, it's visual, and it's moms. Moms are on these 2 platforms and they're buying up a storm. Once you find a legging product sample that you're happy with, do a fun photo shoot and pre-market hard on these 2 platforms. Collect email addresses, and we recently outlined how to get 1,000 new Instagram followers and as an example, and you can check that out if you haven't already. Follow it step by step and you'll do just fine. You'll have your first batch of customers before you know it. Grappling hooks. Ninja weapons are booming. Throwing stars, swords, daggers, grappling hooks, and why? It's because they're awesome. Grappling hooks are small cash on their own, I admit, but they would benefit greatly from a whole family of ninja weapons. In a specialized niche like this, a single customer buying multiple items is super common. This niche isn't here for the value it represents as a singular keyword per se, but for the entire selling opportunity that it represents. Someone can build a brand here and do really well. Shower door sweep. You may be asking, Patrick, what is this thing? Well, it's that piece of plastic under the sliding door and shower stalls. The lesson here is that there's money in the banal utilitarian items that everyone needs but never thinks about. I bet you have one of these. The home improvement category is full of items of this kind. If you want more ideas, just go to a Home Depot, Home Hardware, and take notes on all the utilitarian, private label type items, search them up on Amazon afterwards, and check the market out. Social media is less useful for marketing in this case, but Reddit and home improvement DIY blogs are still good online marketing efforts. Sorority Paddle. 55 reviews and 12K a month. Would you take it? It might be time to go Greek and whip this market into shape. This is a solid looking market with no definitive dominance from any particular seller. You could sell an initial batch for review by contacting sororities directly, in fact. There's a reported 5,000 fraternities and sororities across the US alone, so someone's gonna buy your paddles. This is a great little starter niche and plays well with item 5 that we brought up earlier, the Fraternity Flags. It seems there are untapped opportunities on campus. Okay, get this. Industrial garbage bags. Here's another excellent example of how adding industrial before an item totally changes the market. My opinion is find a garbage bag with an interesting differentiating feature that isn't too expensive to implement, like stronger ties, stronger handles, a new color, a special hazmat print on the outside, more capacity, etc. Tactical military pants. These are pants with built-in knee pads. Note that there is a leader here with over 1,000 reviews. The difference between a good 100 review leader and a bad 100 review leader that you don't want to see is whether they're taking all of the sales or not. In the case of the tactical military pants, you shouldn't be worried because there's still 7 5-digit earners in the mix. No monopoly as far as revenues are concerned. Scuba diving boots. Scuba is an expensive hobby in a specific niche that lends itself to a wide line of products like air tanks, tubes, wetsuits, fins, goggles, and underwater writing slates, etc. Hunting quiver. Pretty cool. It's a solid market with players making thousands across the board with an average review count of just 34. 34. However, because it's a hunting item, expect some seasonality. Expect it of all sports and outdoors, really. And that said, there are 12 sellers, all in the $1,000 range with an average review count of just 34. Take aim and fire. Hunting gun scope. This is competitive review-wise, but if you're knowledgeable about hunting and wouldn't mind investing a couple hundred reviews, about 500 to be precise, the sales volume appears to be there. Reptile lamps. People love their pets, and while other sellers target the obvious cats and dogs, cash in on man's cold-blooded comrades. When sourcing these, make sure that the supplier has a viable way to package and protect the heating lights to prevent any damage. However, the market average is 4.5 out of 5 for reviews, so you obviously know that someone's found a way to do it. If necessary, even order a unit yourself from Amazon and get a sense of the packaging, then make like a chameleon and replicate it. Luggage protectors. Suitcases are big, expensive, and would count as oversized inventory if you were to sell them. When I considered suitcases as a niche, that's the problem I encountered, so I didn't put them here. But what about suitcase protectors? Brilliant. An accessory to a larger purchase, it seems less expensive by comparison of the main thing that you're buying. So go ahead, charge a premium without paying a lot for shipping and storage. The average price in the market is $26. There are other niches like this as well. Think about accessories and protection for cars, boats, beds, large furniture items, appliances. Donald Trump wigs. Full disclosure, there may not be a long-term business in Donald Trump wigs. It depends on his career in the public eye, you know? His popularity could rise or it could fall, but right now it seems to be on the upswing. This niche just has a lot of raw power. When it was first released in October around Halloween, the first seller was making $30,000 with just 2 reviews. 2. It's unprecedented. And unprecedented. Portion control products. You know what? It's kind of tough to find a good niche in kitchen and dining these days, but this one's alright. Small players and a good monthly revenue across the board. Consider adding a really comprehensive portion control booklet along with the product for added value because, after all, like it or not, this is just remarketed Tupperware. As far as sourcing is concerned, make sure that your set of containers physically fits together, like Russian nesting dolls, one inside the other. This will save on shipping costs and ensure that your margins are intact. Bird spikes. So you've probably seen those spikes on buildings and statues to discourage birds from landing on them. That's exactly what this is. Balaclava masks. These are basically heavy-duty ski masks. The market seems to favor black, highly functional models. And just a side note, after running an Honest Few promotion, remember to price aggressively, like lower, above cost but low, so that you can maintain your sales velocity. Otherwise, your BSR will inevitably worsen as the number of sales you're making decreases. Vape products. Vapor electronic cigarettes, also called e-cigarettes, are currently a Wild West market on Amazon with no clear review leaders and a plethora of accessory and add-on opportunities. I mean, 11 reviews and an estimated $40K in earnings? It's like Donald Trump wigs before Halloween, but all year. And they're trending, they're new, they lack market leaders. It's definitely worth a look. Punching bag hanger. If someone's gone to the trouble of purchasing a big, expensive punching bag, it is your duty to provide a private label $40 hanger. It's basically just a small set of nuts and bolts after all. Accessories for big ticket items are perceived as less expensive, like we saw with the luggage protectors. And as before, just ask the experts online. Subreddit, boxing, over 30,000 people. Just tell them you've got an opportunity to create a new punching bag hanger. Ask them what they prefer to use and why. Be transparent and they'll tell you. Medical alert bracelet. Price sensitivity kind of goes out the window once death enters the picture. With this particular product, remember that a medical alert bracelet is also a fashion item because the user needs to wear it all the time. Source something fashionable, yet non-polarizing and gender neutral. Increase the perceived value with branding. That's why in this market, the sleek, waterproof Elite USB Black silicone medical bracelet is the clear winner that does $4K a month with just 26 reviews. Tennis elbow relief usually takes the form of an arm brace, which is a private labeler's dream product in terms of specs. Small, brandable, lightweight, easy to differentiate, solves a clear problem. A sister market to this and a whole new keyword to rank for is golfing elbow relief. So really, you're looking at only one part of potential earnings here. The rest of the money is in golfer's elbow, which I can tell you gets 20 to 30K a month on page 1. Pretty little lie detectors. Okay, here's the thing with this market. Only one seller is actually doing well, 7K a month. This is one of the only instances in this report that'll show you a niche like this. There's a lack of depth, for sure. However, they pull in $7,000 a month with only 3 reviews. It almost seems like an accident. So if you could do the marketing better and get more reviews, it's possible you could monopolize. Cosplay. Help hundreds of thousands of dedicated otakus, that's Japanese for nerd, dress up as their favorite fantasy characters. It's all year long too. It's like Halloween, but it's not seasonal. There are cosplay events at convention centers in every major city in the USA all year round. However, you should watch out for intellectual property, so patents and trademarks on anime characters with this one. You've been warned. The safest play is probably to source something that isn't from a specific show, but rather something more generic, like a mask, accessory, a piece of jewelry, an outfit staple that caters to the cosplay market in general. Commercial menus. No one is actively pursuing this niche, but if you're already selling in kitchen and dining or B2B, this would make a nice notch in your belt. This is a great opportunity because literally no one thinks, I'm going to private label some commercial menus. This one's wide open, and it will be for the foreseeable future. No one's found it after all. Prices are high, the current listings are unoptimized, and it's just waiting for someone to swoop in for the kill. Ultrasound Gel. This one is so niche, it's beautiful. Never underestimate industrial and scientific, by the way, that's a takeaway here. It's probably the most underutilized category in the game at the moment. For the development of the gel, look for American sources. Made in America is a great selling point in this context. Sourced from both China and America initially, but that's my gut feeling. 3D printing filament. 3D printing, touted as the next industrial revolution, is a sleeping giant right now, where you can produce any physical object out of plastic by melting it down and then printing it layer by layer. But what do they use to make the objects? That's filament. Filament's sold in rolls, it gets fed into the printer, and it's melted down to make objects. 3D printing is kind of just reaching the average consumer now with companies like MakerBot, so the opportunity is ripe. Scrapbooking kit. Alright, so you know the drill. Source a comprehensive premium kit that adds the most value based on what enthusiasts tell you. Reddit, subreddit, scrapbooking. And also, look at something like Michael's, the arts and crafts specialty store. Look what's doing well there, and then emulate it on Amazon. 3D printing tools. 3D printing aficionados need scraper tools to remove the work from the printing area. They need tape for the base plate. I had to Google that one. And they need measuring equipment. They need gloss for their models. They need filament. Serve them and enjoy the profit. Car headlights. The beauty of this market, well-distributed revenue. Everyone's either merchant fulfilled or Amazon, and the drawback is that headlights are breakable though. Focus on a particular car model like Honda Civic car headlights. Steampunk goggles. Steampunk is an aesthetic movement that mixes technology with 19th century Victorian steam-powered machines, and it is popular. And because it's a fashion item, there's no set price for what you can charge, unlike a commodity, say like toilet paper, which has a pretty fixed market price. If you can source a unique piece, the margins are wonderful. Our advice is to start with goggles. They're a staple steampunk item, and then branch out with a whole steampunk fashion line to cross-sell. You can establish a strong Instagram presence to pull traffic to your listing. Since steampunk is so particular, getting and converting traffic will be cheaper than, say, cooking. Yoga mat cleaner. If you're looking to enter the prized yoga mat market through the back door, this may be your ticket. But be aware, yoga's become quite competitive. This market still has some of the revenues you'd expect from yoga, but without the intimidating review counts of some of the main products like mats and blocks. Alright, dog wheelchair. At first I was searching wheelchairs, but of course they're physically big, they're hard to ship, and the market is crowded. So I put my private label goggles on, not steampunk goggles, just regular goggles, and thought, small sized and more specific, and came up with wheelchairs for dogs. If you want an easy sourcing solution, source a wheelchair for small lap dogs as opposed to larger dogs. Funeral urn for human ashes. Provide a beautiful, premium-priced urn to commemorate your loved ones forever. Your ad copy should tug at the heartstrings from coast to coast. Appeal to the fact that this is the last and most important investment, not purchase, investment, that you can make for a loved one. If you want absolute certainty that your review rating will be high, then I'd recommend sourcing the urn from material that isn't particularly breakable, like steel or copper, as opposed to glass and porcelain. Urn Necklace, back at it again with the urn products. Do you see a product line here? Urn products for humans and animals, both stationary and mobile. The Urn Necklace, sure, is a smaller market than urns themselves, but it sees some reasonable revenue. If you're strapped for cash, roll out the Urn Necklace first. It's smaller, lighter, and less competitive. Anatomy models for schools. Anatomy models are varied from animals to full-scale human models, so pick something that's high value, but also quite small. If the product is small, say it fits in a shoebox, then smaller quantities, hundreds or so, can be shipped by air at a decent cost. Do not ship by sea for order number 1 if you can possibly help it. It takes too long, which cuts into your potential selling time. Even if your margins are worse if shipping by air, I'd say it's worth it for the extra selling time on Amazon. You can ship pallets later. For now, start selling. Dissection Kit. Put together a cohesive kit of tools for biology labs, sourced with an eye on space saving. And remember, efficient packing techniques can save you money on shipping, but also allow for a lower price that you can pass on to your consumer. Baby time capsule. By the way, there's an amazing concept in this market. It's called Letters to My Baby, Write Now, Read Later. I thought that was brilliant and wanted to give it some recognition. Anyways, this product category demands some creativity. However, inventing a product makes you immune to hijackers and lets you set your own margins. Quiet books are a breed of books for kids made from soft, chunky fabric. As you can see, this market rests on the border between books and toys and games. Because there's so much emphasis on the materials used, it's more of a physical product than a book. The bulk of the sales are being taken by something called Goodnight Teddy, which is a quiet book with a miniature teddy bear in it. Desktop Zen Gardens. These are small, Asian-style sandboxes with tiny rakes. They're reported to bring a sense of calm, inner peace, and order to office desks across America. I chose this market for its evenly distributed, albeit modest, monthly revenues and the potential to differentiate from other sellers. The desktop garden that you will design will be yours and yours alone, deterring hijackers and allowing you to charge a premium. Belay devices. These are small, handheld components used in indoor and outdoor rock climbing. A belay device has some good private label potential. I chose this market because it has a 30K leader with only 58 reviews. Supply a pack of 2 belay devices to boost your margins. Neck brace. Okay, here's a little market theory. There's sense in selling solutions for medical problems online on Amazon. Number 1, they might be hard to find at your local department store. Number 2, certain physical conditions preclude physical shopping in the first place, the neck brace being one. There's a healthy revenue distribution in this market, which denotes that success is more likely. Kung Fu karate uniform or kids karate uniform. As far as product development goes, Reddit, subreddit, karate, over 3,000 people, and ask what annoys the most about their gi. Just from perusing the subreddit, I discern that certain karateka have trouble keeping their gi white. Can you source a solution? If so, sell the stays white gi with great profit. Math flashcards. As far as product development is concerned, this is pretty content heavy, but it might be worth it. Make sure that your design has a set of math flashcards targeting a specific age group, like kindergarten math, middle school algebra, university calculus, etc. I wouldn't touch university calculus. Include some good artwork on the package, or better yet, commission an artist from Fiverr or something. My intuition tells me that there's money in flashcards for younger kids, evidenced by the 20K month leader that sells Brighter Child math flashcards. CPR Dummies. This is one of my favorites. This market is a flawless example of great RPR, revenue per review, or the revenue that exists compared to the number of reviews that a listing has. None of these sellers make active efforts to increase their review count on the CPR Dummies. It probably hasn't even crossed their mind, and yet they're making sales because the need exists. People teach CPR all around the US, and it's not like you can just stroll into Walmart and buy a CPR dummy. Amazon's the logical answer. The average review count is so low, in fact, that you could sweep the market with just 25 units promoted. Watch out though, because unless you're selling baby CPR dummies, these things can be quite large in size. Bathroom signs. This is a B2B play in the kitchen dining space, like the commercial menus we saw earlier. It's something that most sellers don't even think about. Small businesses order office and retail supplies from Amazon every single day, yet the competition to meet their needs is totally untapped. In the particular case of bathroom signs, you can get a little creative. Sure, you could sell the standard bathroom sign, but what would a high-end sign look like? Just imagine that for a second. There's a certain kind of plating that you could use to increase the perceived value and boost your margins. Just source around a little bit and see what you can find. Construction hard hat. Just like with bathroom signs, construction hard hats are an example of a B2B Amazon niche that's underserved, and there's a fair bit of money being exchanged too. Now, the company MSA controls most of the top spots at the moment. However, the average review count is lower. There's a possibility that by increasing your review count to around 200, you can become the perceived natural choice in the market and capture a portion of the sales. Crossbow Scope. I'll keep this description like a crossbow, fast and effective. These scopes are small in size, high price point, exist in a specialized area. Basically ideal. Build an Instagram audience of about 1,000 people specifically about crossbows. Launch the scope to them at a discount, use the momentum to gain natural sales, and win. Mayo instrument stand. Okay, let's talk about untapped. This market has AMZ and merch fulfilled sellers across the board with no one optimizing their listings. Just make sure that your instrument stand is foldable, telescopic, or otherwise compact. You don't want to ship these stands, or anything for that matter, by sea. It's cheaper to go by sea, but you need a forwarder in 3 months of your life. But with that proper product planning, you don't have to. Source the Mayo stand with portability in mind. Medical patient alarm. There's some good money here, but make sure you source an amazing product that works every time. With people's lives on the line, there's no room for errors. Ghost hunting equipment. Imagine how fun it would be to build an audience for this. Ghosts, detecting spirits, paranormal activity, the supernatural. Just find people who are serious about measuring them. About $60 worth of serious, and cash in. To point you in the right direction, most real ghost detection equipment measures EMF, or electromagnetic fields. Sterile specimen cups for urine, semen, and the like. My suggested play is to do a bulk set to bring the total price up and to figure out a smart way of packing and shipping to keep your margins intact. Gymnastic grips. Grips are very private label friendly because of their small size, brandability, and specificity of market. If you'd be interested in building a gymnastic product empire, this one's for you. Guitar distortion pedal. It's time to turn this market all the way up to 11. The good news is the sales distribution is solid, even with pedals that don't have many reviews. The bad news, it's a slightly technical item, which means that you just need to be sure that what you source is reliable. Septic Air Pumps. It's a good looking opportunity. The RPR is pretty exceptional. The numbers speak for themselves. However, ensure that your unit works well and is on the smaller side. Septic air pumps tend to be a little larger than the fits in the shoebox requirement that applies to most of the items on this list, but the ratio of sales to reviews was too good not to at least bring this to your attention. Okay, leg holster. The ones with less than 50 reviews are still pulling in thousands of dollars a month. A word of advice on the product itself, you can't go wrong with black and quality materials. Horse boots. I found this market while looking for polo accessories. You've heard of horse shoes, but who's making all the horse boots? You. This one doesn't win the blue ribbon for the deepest market of all time, but it's definitely underdeveloped and there's money to be made if you can come up with a unique product play. Try glow in the dark or reflective horse boots for nighttime, or something with a differentiated print perhaps, but what do I know? You need an expert opinion. Go to Reddit, subreddit Equestrian, about 5,000 people, and ask what they'd like to see in a horse boot. Hull cleaner, not Hulk cleaner, hull cleaner. Boating and boat accessories are great because no single product is expensive compared to buying a boat, right? Some of the players have been in the market for a while, demonstrated by the large number of AMZ sellers, but it's time for some young blood to come in and shake things up a little bit. Mermaid fins. What have humans dreamt of since the dawn of time? That's right, shedding these cumbersome legs and becoming mermaids. This is a trending accessory that's all the rage at pool parties, days at the beach, and even specialized mermaid swimming lessons. I'm not joking, and I'm bringing this to you as the trend is happening. Excellent Instagram and Pinterest potential, where the 18 to 35-year-old demo is hanging out anyways. Capitalize. Road Safety Kit. Here is a kit opportunity that isn't too crowded, so if you like kits, get on this. If it's any indication of how well you could do with this, there's only one private label seller on the scene and they're doing about 60 grand a month. And with road safety kits, there's a great opportunity for differentiation because of course you can put different stuff than the other guy. Vinyl record cleaner. Vinyl's back in a big way, as are Polaroid cameras, but that's a different story. Capitalize on this trend by selling maintenance kits and cleaning products. What vinyl customer wouldn't want to protect their investment? Not purchase, investment. Add retro-inspired or hipster branding that speaks to a younger audience that likes old-looking stuff, like Urban Outfitters. Think Urban Outfitters. Vinyl record storage. Okay, so by the way, the last entry, here's a vinyl record storage play. Be careful not to source an oversized item though. Okay, let's brainstorm. So let's see. Think. A foldable unit, a wall-hanging unit, an accordion shape, a display case, like how famous musicians display their records when they go platinum. And speaking of platinum, you might need a platinum package for this one. Gas mask. Gas masks are a workplace necessity for a surprising number of people. Gas, paint, sawdust, fumes, smoke, they all need masks. Give these people a hand and bring a unique gas mask to market. There's so many technical aspects here, like the air tightness, do you want a mouth versus mouth and eyes, the filtration. There might be some competitive advantage that you and your supplier can come up with. Riff on that, and you'll be fine. The distributed monthly revenues guarantee a certain degree of safety. Kendama. Kendamas are traditional Japanese toys. Basically, this is a really intense version of cup and ball, and they're trending. They've just arrived on the scene in North America, marketed as the next yo-yo. I think these will always be relegated to the sidelines a little bit, but they're definitely picking up steam in the US, and healthy monthly sales across the board, and no single seller with a demanding lead. It's for these reasons that I just want to tell you about this and get you going now if you're interested. Fake security camera. The moral of the story, you don't need to sell tech. You just need to sell something that looks like tech. These security cameras are designed to ward off potential intruders and thieves. Yes, there's a market leader with over 2,000 reviews. That's a lot. But according to some market analysis, they lead in reviews only, not in revenue. And for this reason, this niche is still up for grabs. Sauna Suit. Finally, an item in the weight loss market that isn't an overcrowded supplement. If you've got your eye on fitness but don't know where to start, consider this. Sauna suits are made of waterproof fabric, PVC or nylon generally, and you can wear them in the sauna and they make you sweat. A lot. It doesn't sound so good. Include a liability statement for good measure. Blacklight Paint. People buy blacklight paint for raves, large dance parties set to electronic dance music. Raves often feature DJs, loud music, and blacklight. Hence the special blacklight body paint. Raves are popular with teens and young adults and whippersnappers, so the opportunity lies in sourcing some hip, edgy body paint and grabbing more than 160 reviews. Just from a casual observation, it seems that the paints in the beauty category are performing better. Picking up on the last one, Rave Clothing. Rave Clothing presents a huge opportunity and it's not very saturated. In fact, there's really only one brand in the space at the moment and they're aptly named I Heart Raves. Fortunately for you, the company's focus isn't Amazon. They sell through other channels as well. Underserved anyone? Since this is a clothing category, you also need to be ungated to sell here, which requires the product having at least 4 SKUs. In terms of design, go for bright colors and blacklight friendly designs. A quick Google search for Rave Clothing will give you a sense of just how wild you can get. And it's pretty wild. Wood carving set. With all the recent technological advances, a return to working with your hands is emerging. I chose wood carving sets in particular for their good revenues across the board and small physical size. Diving knife. I picked this niche because outside of gourmet kitchen knives, which are extremely competitive, this is probably the most you can charge for a single knife, ever. When sourcing, keep in mind that this knife needs to be used underwater, so you need to get materials that won't rust. In addition, make sure your knife comes with a strong integrated holder or case to mitigate risks with FBA. Diving depth gauge. Also in the scuba category, depth gauges. Here's the beauty in this niche. They're physically small, but really expensive. And we notice the pattern here, which is that the most successful gauges have a watch form factor. The universal metric for water pressure is PSI, which will allow you to compare your product to others when sourcing. You don't want an inferior product because enthusiasts notice these things. And if you're looking for a diving depth gauge, you're probably pretty into this stuff. Look at what PSI your competition offers in their watches and aim to match or exceed. Fishing waders. In other words, waterproof overalls that let the user go waist deep in water while fishing. Word of the wise, it's the camouflage waders that sell the best. Fishing rod holders. With the rod holders, everyone's got a different design, so start with a private label version, and if it does well, reinvest into a proprietary mold. If you need feedback, just read the 3-star reviews on your competitor's product. Okay, slacklines. As this report is being written, this market is blossoming. It's spring for slacklines. The review counts are creeping higher and higher, but there'll still be room to break in and capitalize on this new trend. Still unknown to most of the world, slacklines are thick, flattened tight ropes that you can walk on for fun and for balance. Each set comes with a roll of webbing, 2 anchor points, and instructions. This is an unconsolidated gem with everyone winning so far. Mountain climbing, harnesses. This market was chosen for the sheer revenue per reviews, the RPR. At the time of this video, there's no one above 100 reviews, yet the average monthly revenue is approaching 10K. Hair chalk. This stuff will literally, temporarily, color your hair. Just a heads up, you need to get ungated by Amazon to sell in the beauty categories. But here's a design suggestion from Design Master Patrick. Deviate from the usual chalk sticks. The chalk gets on your fingers and during use and it's messy, it's no fun, not that I would know. Instead, try to source chalk with some sort of handle or holder. That's just my opinion. Bed underpads. Cool. The competition is a little bit heavier here, but don't worry. This niche was chosen for its higher price points, good payouts, and review counts that are still in the 500 range. You don't really want to see 1,000+ reviews in a potential market for the most part, but this is okay. Bed pads will require a bit more upfront investment in terms of promotion, but given the numbers, it should pay off nicely. Police siren. I don't know if people like impersonating the police or something, but this has some good RPR. Decorative fishnet. I think this looks horrendous, but that's my opinion. Decorative fishnets add a certain je ne sais quoi to your room, dorm, or seafood restaurant, and they're in demand. And unlike real fishnets, they're for aesthetic purposes only, so it doesn't really need to work. This niche is less about function and more about the looks. Most interestingly, and you almost never see this, the number one product, the number one net in this search has a 2 out of 5 star rating. Out of dissatisfaction with the leaders, customers are looking for other listings, and that's where we swoop in and take our share. But beware, the average price currently sits at $10. It's too low. You don't have anything left after product cost, shipping, and FBA fees. It's practically an add-on item. Instead, add accessories to the net to, up the value a little bit. For instance, there's one seller at $15.48 who has added seashells to the net and is doing 10K a month with 80 reviews. Adult coloring books. We might have missed the boat on this one, to be honest, but adult coloring books are booming, and busy people worldwide realize the value in turning off their mind and unwinding. In fact, adult coloring books have become so popular, the average BSR on this page is 100. That's insane. Of the millions of books that exist, adult coloring books are some of the most popular books on the planet. However, it's still possible to get a piece of the action. Review counts are higher, but it's not impossible to overcome, and what if you strengthened your margins by adding some coloring pens? That's just a thought. E-liquid. Do you remember dream niche number 25, vape products? Well, e-liquid is the formula that you put inside. Truth is, vape and e-cigarettes are really in their infancy on Amazon. More research is needed, but it's certainly compelling. Survival water filter. There's some Amazon FBA sellers with low review counts that are flourishing. The most popular form factor is a straw, but don't let that limit your imagination. Some people are having success with a pump model as well. If you're passionate about kitchen and dining, you just can't see yourself doing anything else, but you couldn't find a niche that isn't saturated, this one's for you. Unlike most kitchen products, cold brew coffee isn't a race to the bottom on price. Coffee aficionados are willing to pay more for something special. That's the difference here. The average price of $27.12 proves that. However, the makers themselves are fairly simple and don't have any electronic components. Truck bed mattress. Have you ever dreamed of sitting on a truck and looking up at the night stars? You're not the only one. There are hundreds of truck owners looking to convert their pickups into stargazers. So source an inflatable mattress that isn't too much of a pain to ship, get 100 reviews or so, and you're in business. Night vision binoculars. This is an excellent, albeit creepy play. Small item, high price point, evenly distributed revenues across page 1, low review counts on everyone, and room for differentiation. You need to confirm this though. Is it the monocular or the binocular ones that are more popular? Mini washing machine. When you need to wash clothes on the go, you use one of these. Just make sure that your model is truly mini. We want to provide value to the end user while making sure that we don't end up selling an oversized item, or one that you'll need to ship by sea. Ask your supplier if it can be shipped partly unassembled, perhaps, that might help. Cup massage therapy. Cup therapy uses vacuum pressure on the skin to boost blood flow. It dates back to 1500 BC, if you can believe it. Revenue results in this market are scattered, so it seems like every other seller does well as opposed to every seller. There's some innovation going on though, which is kind of cool. So silicone is trending ahead of traditional plastic or glass, with transparent silicone molds taking the first 6 places in the search results. I didn't know this. Poker chip set. You can bet on this market to deliver. It's also totally immune to seasonal changes, which is nice. There are good revenues across the board and a relatively low review count. As long as the shipping costs are factored into your final Amazon price point, you should be just fine. These things are a little bit heavy, so watch out for that. Egg incubator. This is yet another example of why this report exists. Who would think to sell an egg incubator? This guy. So let's chat incubators. Although the top listings sell incubators with a 48 egg capacity, you'd probably be better served by doing something similar to the Brinsea Mini, which does $24K a month in sales. It's presented well, charges twice the average price, it's $179, and hatches only 7 eggs. It does its job well though, and it's no doubt less expensive to source and ship than its bulky 48 egg counterparts. Dog lift harness. This is a support system that goes under your dog's belly to rehabilitate them into walking again. What's more awesome than that? You've got choices when it comes to dog lift harnesses, chest or hips. Historically, chest harnesses seem to have more demand. Self-balancing scooter bag. No doubt you've seen these viral like hoverboards, right? They're small 2-footed segways, been banned from Amazon. Ring any bells? With new trends come new accessories. iPhones, iPhone cases, selfies, selfie sticks, yoga mats, yoga mat carriers, hoverboards, hoverboard bags. They have a unique shape and call for a new kind of bag, but this market is so new and immature that no one's designed the perfect bag yet, but it could be you. The lesson here is you don't flock to what everyone's selling. Sometimes you just aim at the accessory to a popular item. Let everyone else compete on self-balancing scooters while you sell accessories at better margins. Defibrillator pads. These are some ridiculously high RPRs in this niche. The main challenge that you need to overcome is that nobody would know your brand next to something like Philips, for example. The good news is that Philips isn't focused entirely on Amazon, which leaves you an opening to get a good number of reviews, be perceived as the Amazon private label brand of choice, and steal some of their sales. In this market, some of Philips' sales is about $30K a month. CPR Rescue Mask. Solid numbers and low universal review counts. For this market, it would be beneficial to do a pack of multiples, probably, I'd say. Well, it looks like number 82, the slack lines, toe straps exist to help tow cars, and they aren't the flavor of the week. Toe straps are forever. It's a nice little niche in the automotive category because it isn't dominated by any brand names, like at all. Butterfly knife, or perhaps more interestingly, practice butterfly knife. Normally, knives aren't really a good idea to source because of customs clearance and liability issues, but it seems that the practice butterfly knives are extremely popular and may even outperform their lawsuit-inducing counterparts. Despite the low review counts in this niche, you want to invest in a knife design with a differentiated look to it. Visual differentiation is a long-term play that takes a bit more initial time and money, but it sets you apart in the long run. Baby headbands. This is adorable. You could sell packs of adorable headbands for baby photo shoots, birthdays, parties, and other occasions. Sure, the babies might not like it, but they can't talk, so it's all good. Doing a multi-pack with assorted colors is a must for boosting your selling price. And if your initial pack goes well, you could also experiment with packs for a particular theme or occasion, so like birthday or a nerd baby, a superhero, Easter, checker design, glow-in-the-dark, Halloween, Christmas. You get the idea. All right, we're really done this time. Thanks a lot, and leave a like on this video and subscribe, by the way, for more stuff like this. My name is Patrick, and thanks so much for hanging out with me. So you pick a product, but then what? You know, how do you proceed with this? And for me, it's almost better if you're a member of the target market so that you know exactly what features to improve and how to sell it. The second thing is sourcing. So you can reach out to me with any questions. Also, we have an online sourcing guide that's super comprehensive. And then once you've sourced and shipped to Amazon, it comes time to promote. So once your product hits Amazon, I can team up with you personally and get you selling on page 1. Honest View is a community of dads and moms and bloggers and Amazon top reviewers who buy and review products. It's done punctually and managed by me and my best friend and in accordance with Amazon's TOS. The wave of sales and reviews helps your product rank for keywords and get natural sales. When you're ready, start your business with Honest View. I'll see you there. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and stay honest.